Problem number 1 asks us to solve a few equations using the quadratic formula. I've gone ahead and written the quadratic formula on the right side of the screen here for us to refer to. Before we can start using the formula though, we have to remember that our equation has to equal 0 on one side of it. So the first thing we have to do is we have to deal with this 8 right here. Now we can do that by subtracting 8 from both sides. And when we subtract 8, it's going to end up combining with that positive 2 there, leaving us with a minus 6. But now we have 0 on the right side of this equation, so we can go ahead and we can find out what a, b, and c are. In this case, a is 3. It's always the number that's in front of the x squared. B is 7. It's the number that's in front of the x. And c is negative 6. It's the number that is by itself. From here, we just go ahead and we start filling in the blanks in the quadratic formula. So we can go ahead and say that x equals, the formula starts with negative b, and b is 7, which means this will now be a negative 7 here, plus or minus the square root of b squared, which is 7 squared, minus 4 times a, which is 3, times c, which is negative 6. All divided by 2 times a. From here we have to do quite a few calculations to simplify this down to some reasonable answers, and we're going to start by simplifying as much as we can on the top of our fraction. Negative 7 doesn't simplify anymore, so that will stay right there, but there's a lot of math we can do inside of this square root. In particular, 7 squared will give us 49, and negative 4 times 3 times negative 6 will give us positive 72. When we add those two numbers together, 49 plus 72, we're going to get the square root of 121. Now if you throw it in a calculator or do it in your head, you might recognize that the square root of 121 is actually just 11. On the bottom of our fraction, 2 times 3 gives us 6. Once we get to this point in the problem, we can go ahead and actually start to find some final answers. So this is where we want to break out our calculator and actually do negative 7 plus the square root of 121 and hit enter. That will give us 4, and then divide by 6. That will give us 0.66666 forever, or just 0.667 if we round. We still have to do the other answer here, which is the minus version. So we do negative 7 minus the square root of 121, hit enter, which gives us negative 18, and then divide by 6 again, and that gives us x equals negative 3. We've now found both of our solutions, so we're done with this problem.